Good morning, teacher. Good morning, classmates. My name is Edwin Flores and I am from the first year of High School D, and this is my project. The disasters that I'm going to talk about are tornadoes, earthquakes, and floods. Floods. What is a flood? Floods are a partial or total occupation of water that occur on a normally dry surface and that can cause material and human damage. Floods are events produced by natural phenomena such as rains, hurricanes, or melting ice, or produced by human activity. Cause of floods. The floods may have been for various reasons. These are the events or activities that can cause flooding. Natural cause. They have been to do with natural events that occur without human intervention, such as rains. They generate a saturation of water in the terrain that, as it does not dry quickly, cause flooding. Thawing. The concentration of the ice causes the water to reach the rivers and increase their course, causing them to overflow. Storms, hurricanes, typhoons, or tsunamis. They generate waves of great magnitude and can knock down natural or artificial barriers, facilitating the entry of water to the mainland at great speed, and flooding everything in its path. Unnatural case. There are factors related to human activities that has been a direct impact on water bodies or on the decline in land quality. Some of those activities are hydraulic failures, breakage of dams or dikes which release a large amount of water in a very short time, saturating the land or nearby bodies of water and causing floods. Water pollution. Solid waste and sewage can clog the channels of bodies of water, causing them to rise and then overflow. Soil erosion. Urban works, excessive cultivation or pollution reduce the quality of the soil, increasing its permeability, which makes it susceptible to saturation more quickly. Flooding is often will be considered the deadliest natural disaster in history, causing between 145,000 deaths and nearly 4 million. These floods are often caused by deluge that last for days or even weeks, which are preceded by a drought that can last for months of years. Floods do have all over the world, but there are few that stand out above others, like the Great Mississippi River flood of 1927. It is being remembered as the most destructive flood in the history of the United States, having moved 65,000 cubic meters of water every second. During the summers 1926, heavy rains were witnessed in the central part of the Mississippi River, and on Christmas days the water level of the Cumberland River exceeded in 17 meters, a record that stands to this day. Earthquakes. An earthquake is the sudden movement of the earth, caused by the sudden release of energy accumulated over a long time. The earth's crust is made up of a dozen plates approximately 70 km deep, each with different physical and chemical characteristics. These tectonic plates are being accommodated in a process that takes millions of years and has been given the shape that we know today to the surface of our planet, originating the continents and the geographical reliefs in a process that is far from being complete. Generally, these movements are slow and imperceptible, but in some cases these plates collide with each other like an iceberg of land on an ocean of magma presenting the depths of the earth, preventing their movement. Then one plate begins to move above or below the other, causing slow changes in topography. But if displacement is prevented, tension energy begins to build up, which will eventually be released, and one of the plates will break against the other, breaking it and releasing a variable amount of energy, which causes the earthquake. The areas where the plates exert this force on each other are called faults and are, of course, the point where seismic events are most likely to originate, only 10% of. Earthquakes occur far from the plate boundaries. Underground activities caused by an erupting volcano can cause a similar phenomenon. Cause of the earthquake. They are produced due to the collision of tectonic plates and the release of energy in the course of a sudden reorganization of materials in the Earth's crust. Other causes of the earthquake are rock falls on the slopes of the mountain, underground activity caused by a volcano, the man have been carried out underground activities such as a nuclear experiment. The force exerted by the millions of tons of water accumulated in dams and artificial lakes. In Ecuador, there has been many earthquakes, but the strongest is the earthquake of February 4, 1797, with epicenter in Antigua Riobamba, 8 Frontier. Historically, is the most devastation according to the records of seismic movements in the country. According to the documents, the number of victims was more than 12,000. A document from the Geophysical Institute of the National Polytechnic School clarifies that the 1797 earthquake is the most intense of those that occurred in our territory. Even other records describe it as not of the ones with the greatest impact on the continent. The devastation was being so great that the few work made in Villa San Pedro de Riobamba decided not to stay and live there and looked for another place to resettle. That is where the current Riobamba is today. The devastation blow of 1796 was being felt strongly in Chimborazo, Tungurahua, Cotopaxi, and Bolivar, although it also affects the population of the province of Pichincha, Guayas, El Oro, Manabí, Loja, and some cities of present-day Colombia. Tornadoes. Tornadoes are associated with violent and destructive wind storms that occur over land and are characterized by a funnel-shaped cloud that extends toward the ground. In other words, a tornado is a violent funnel-shaped windstorm that spins rapidly upward with one tip touch the ground. If the tip does not touch the ground, it's called a funnel. Tornadoes contain a mix of powerful spinning thunderstorms and clouds that are very destructive as they can crush anything in their path. Strong tornadoes has been collapsed houses, injure and kill people, and wrecked cars. One of the worst tornadoes was in March 1925 in Missouri, USA, which killed 1823 people and injured more than 3,000 people. Tornadoes can reach speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, can grow up to 25 feet, and generally cover an area about 300 to 400 yards. Tornadoes sometimes form very quickly and unexpectedly, leaving little time for warnings or precaution. Tornadoes are common in Tornado Alley in the United States, but can generally occur anywhere. What are tornadoes? The weather is a stranger thing. One day it may be cold and raining, the next day is perfectly warm and sun for sandals and bikinis on the beach. Human has been able to develop products that allow them to handle many types of weather. For example, when it rains, an umbrella appears. Although they seem like a movie, tornadoes are a frequent meteorological phenomenon in many provinces of the world. When it's too hot, a sunscreen takes care of your skin. When the snow accumulates, a snow shovel comes in handy. However, certain places experience extreme weather conditions, such as major thunderstorms, snowstorms, or hurricanes that humans have been unable to handle for a long time. However, there is one type of destructive storm in which scientists have been developed a special interest. It's called a tornado. Cause of tornadoes. Tornadoes form inside really huge storms, and not just any kind of storm, but powerful electrical storm can know as supercells. Rising air is the first ingredient necessary for a tornado to develop. When cold, dry air moving in one direction collides with warm, moist air moving from another direction. A tornado develops since cold air sinks down one air. The cold air slides down, pushing the warm air down rather quickly. The combination of upward and downward air speed can develop a spiral storm. Thank you, teacher. My name is Edwin Flores, and this is my partial project.